on that note, absolutely phenomenal coverage here on the Fox Network from journalists like Trace Gallagher, John Roberts, John Scott, many others. And I want to pick up on where they've left off on many of their questions starting last night and today. Let's bring in Dr. Jeff Edwards. He's a former U.S. Navy A-6 navigator, and he's an aircraft accident investigator for over 25 years. Thank you so much for being with us. I want to pick up right there from what we heard from Secretary Hegseth, an elevation issue. From what I've understood, this is an extremely busy corridor right there along the Potomac in front of Reagan National Airport. But the helicopter, from what I understood, should have been flying somewhere under 200 feet, and then they could have observed with visual flight rules at that point, and they would have been looking for something, perhaps the inbound American flight. But if there's an elevation issue, does that mean they were somewhere north of that ceiling, 300, 400 feet?
Will, that's correct. The VFR quarter specifies at or below 200 feet, and it also shows on the chart that they should have been closer to the riverbank on the Maryland side.
Okay, so they were already outside of the zone where they were under VFR, visual flight restriction rules. They were higher elevated than that ceiling. And then there's talk about night vision goggles. I don't think we know yet with certainty whether or not the pilots of the helicopter were wearing night vision goggles, but everyone has suggested that would have restricted their ability to see everything around them, at least their peripheral vision.
Right. So the night vision goggles, they don't know yet, but night vision goggles have two issues here. They restrict the field of view, i.e. the arc in which the pilots can see left and right. And also, they tend to bloom because you have a lot of background lighting from the various towers and lights on the ground, et cetera. So it really doesn't work well in that situation.
Okay, I want to ask you one more thing about using vision as a way of spotting potential aircraft collisions. From what I understand, I don't know that it's a directly head-on collision, but the two aircraft, the American flight and the Black Hawk helicopter, seem to be heading toward one another, which even in daylight, from what I've been led to understand, is difficult. It's hard to see something. You need context. You need something crossing the visual plane. Is that correct as well? So you've got the night problem, you've got night vision goggle problems, and now you've also got the problem of something stationary in front of you headed straight towards you.
Correct. It's called, the term is relative motion. So the human eye is really good at picking up an object that crosses in front of you, okay? It's not really good at identifying an object that is fixed right in front of you that is moving. We see this in everyday life. We just don't, understand it really well. The pilots understand it better because they're trying to find a moving object out there and separate it from a stationary object. In this case, not only do you have that phenomena, but you have all the background lighting that confuses the pilots as to the question of whether or not that's an airplane or that's just a blinking light on a tower or a building.
Now, really quickly, Dr. Edwards, one last question then. There's also this question of whether or not a third plane played a factor into what the helicopter pilots may have been looking at. Air traffic control suggested, do you see the regional flight? But there was one taking off as well from Reagan. Do you see anything to that they might have been looking at a flight taking off instead of a flight inbound landing at Reagan?
Yeah, that's not uncommon. It's happened to me, misidentifying an aircraft that has been pointed out to you, and you see another one that's in the close proximity, and you think that the one that you've been instructed to follow is actually not the one you're looking at. So that becomes a problem. The big problem here for the agencies, the administration, is what are we going to do going forward to prevent this from happening again? Because we've already put in place regulations and technology to prevent this, but of course those failed.
Right. That'll be a tough question for many of my friends and now people helping to ensure this doesn't happen well into the future. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, just one day on the job. Dr. Jeff Edwards, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.